Hello there, and welcome to the Easy Sports Show, presented by Top Sports Media. My name is Evan Abramson, and to the left of me is Zachary Cooper, the coach.
That's right.
Today we will be discussing many topics ranging from LeBron to Carmelo, all the way to the MLB trade rumors. And without further ado, let's get started with today's show. So what we're going to start off with today is Tony Dungy and the comments he made against Michael Sam, and I quote, "He wouldn't have drafted Sam because he didn't want the distractions." So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Zachary Cooper over here for his comments and his opinion on what's going on, what Sam replied with, and how that's impacting the team and the NFL as a whole.
Well, you know what bothered me about what Tony Dungy said is he said that he didn't want the distractions. But you do realize, and many people don't know this, on ESPN they're going to be talking about it nonstop. Michael Sam was signed by Jeff Fisher and the Rams. And you know what? When they start the season, this is all ESPN's going to be talking about. Oh, have there been distractions with Michael Sam being, openly gay? And I don't understand why it's a big issue. However, Tony Dungy was never asked about Michael Sam's sexual orientation. Never, not once in his interview. What he said is he said that Michael Sam did deserve a shot in the NFL. And that's all that was said. However, Michael Sam then went on to reply and said that he's happy that Tony Dungy was not the St. Louis Rams coach. I mean, shocking to me because Tony Dungy's a phenomenal coach, was a phenomenal coach, and is a great man, he does all the church stuff.
But at the same time, you got to hand it to Sam. I mean, obviously he didn't mean it, that Tony Dungy is not a good coach. He's a great coach, one of the best in history probably with the Bucks, the Colts, but if he's saying comments like he wouldn't have drafted Sam because of the distractions, it's bottom line. He would not have been drafted. Sam would not be playing NFL football as the first openly gay player.
And you're exactly right. He probably wouldn't. I mean, he may have signed as an unsigned free agent or an undrafted free agent. However, you're probably right. Tony Dungy, in the Rams position, wouldn't have drafted Michael Sam due to the distractions. And the distractions are not that he's openly gay, but the fact that the media will just not get over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, However, moving forward past that, you're right. He would not be in the NFL unless signed as an undrafted free agent.
There are no doubt there's going to be distractions, but not the distractions that everyone is saying is going to be this hot fire, fireworks, or they're going to be that bad. He's going to get distractions. There are going to be distractions no matter what you do, no matter what sport, no matter what event in a professional atmosphere. But Michael Sam being gay, he's going to just let it roll past him. He's not going to care. He's going to do what he was signed and paid to do, play football in the NFL. And he's going to just act like any normal player.
Right, and that's all he wanted.
Yeah.
And when he said that on ESPN First Take, that's all he wanted when he first came out as the first openly gay football player that's still playing. That's all he wanted, was just to be another one of the guys and to be able to continue his career with no distractions.
All right. So, other than that, for Tony Dungy, let's go ahead and move on to Andre Johnson. The question, too good for camp, Seth?
I think Andre Johnson isn't too good for camp. However, he's sick and tired of the way that the Texans are treating him. He is the only player there other than J.J. Watt who is a superstar. Andre Johnson is one of the top 15 receivers in the league, no doubt, maybe even in the top 5. Numbers aren't really saying that right now, only because Case Keenum was their quarterback last year. They took away Matt Schaub, who has worked with Andre Johnson as a 1-2 for years. They took away Ben Tate, so if Arian Foster goes down, that's the big problem. Andre Johnson is the offense. You lose Arian Foster, Andre Johnson's the offense.
And there's no doubt that once that happens, if that happens, Andre Johnson will be shut down, double teamed.
Yes.
There's no way the Texans will be able to succeed unless they get a new better running back, better fullback, halfback. They fill up those positions that they really need to succeed and take the pressure off of Johnson to make those big plays that we expect them to make.
Offensive line is a huge issue for the Texans. Matt Schaub last year and then Case Keenum, one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. I believe they were up in the mid to high 30s last year, and that was only halfway through the season. Matt Schaub went down with an injury. They were stuck with Case Keenum, and now I feel bad for Andre Johnson because he, in my opinion, would be thinking, wow, my new quarterbacks are Tom Savage, a drafted player in the NFL draft, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has been all over the league as nothing but a mediocre quarterback.
And now we go to the last part of this argument. Is he being selfish like all players in the NFL? when they try and hold these holdouts and try and get bigger contracts. What do you take on that? Is he being a normal player? Is he acting for his own benefit? What do you say about that?
Well, I think Andre Johnson's kind of reacting almost like Steven Jackson did with the Rams. Steven Jackson did not hold out. However, Steven Jackson was the Rams for a long time. He was the best player. He was the only player for the Rams at his certain time. That was after the Kurt Warner, after the Isaac Bruces, after the Torrey Holtz. Andre Johnson is is the Texans, like I said. And Andre Johnson holding out, being selfish, I don't think so. I think he deserves the bigger contract. He deserves the money. And until he gets that and he gets a good surrounding core, I don't think he should report to camp.
But could you say that it is in a way selfish indeed because of the fact that he has a whole team who depends on him? Like you said, he is the Texans. Could you say that Andre Johnson waiting for more money? I don't think it's more about the positions. It's about how much money I can get as a player. I want to be one of the highest paid in my position. I want all that money. God knows what they do with it. But I still say that, you're going to hold out. You're being paid $40 million in your contract. That's too much money for any one man. I don't care what you're doing. But the extra $5 or $10 million is not going to make a difference in your average day. So I don't know if what he's doing is right by any player holding out.
Well, and I think you're exactly right money-wise. Money's not going to make you a better player. What's going to make you a better player is being in camp. But Andre Johnson, in my opinion, is in the top 5 of receivers, and I think holding out in camp, because he's still conducting his own workouts, he's still going hard at the gym, doing what he needs to do. I think he'll be ready and do just fine this season.
All right, and now we move on to what should be the last of the NFL talk for today. Ray Rice, breaking news from yesterday, hitting his wife, and he's suspended the first 2 games of the season. What do you take on that? Is it too harsh, too soft? And should there be more to talk about?
Too harsh, too soft. I think that, honestly, any man who beats his wife deserves to go to jail. Ray Rice, you don't get a free pass because you're a halfway decent running back. And unfortunately, I hate calling you that, but you were pretty poor last year. Ray Rice didn't do so hot last year. He comes off the Ravens season and decides to beat his wife and only is suspended by the NFL for 2 games. Now, you take it back, is this too harsh? The answer is no. And why do I say that? Because if we remember back in 2004, 2005, Michael Pittman of the Buccaneers tried to run over his wife in his truck and was not suspended for a single game, just fined money.
Now, you may agree with this, but I believe it's also way too soft. You get in the NFL, you get players who don't even do it on purpose, who try and ram another player or go into him making a tackle, helmet to helmet. It's not like they're trying to cause him to have a concussion, but they still get that 1-game suspension given to them by the NFL and the commissioner. What kind of example do these guys set for them when you have this situation?
No, I obviously see where you're coming from. I'm not a fan of the whole 1-game suspension fine for helmet-to-helmet hits. I'm a big believer in football is a game you're going to get hurt in. No matter what, you're going to get hurt. And now, what's been proven since last year, not only have the concussion rates gone down, but the torn ACLs, which is, in my opinion, a far worse injury, has gone up. And that's because the NFL has banned from hitting chest to up, and now they're going to ban what? From hitting what? Knees to below? Where are you supposed to hit somebody? In my opinion, the NFL is turning into flag football, but we can get into that a lot later.
Right, who do you have winning the Super Bowl this year? The contenders, the sleepers? Who's going to be the teams to watch to see if they can really get their groove on?
Well, let me tell you, the team to watch this year, and I'm moving down to the NFC South. It's going to be the Carolina Panthers. Studs last year, they made the playoffs. The Carolina Panthers are on a roll. They're going to continue that roll, especially with Ron Rivera as their head coach and Cam Newton at the quarterback spot. However, the 2 sleepers, I have 2 sleeper picks. We have the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have everybody back. They have Julio Jones back, Roddy White, Matty Ice, who's Matt Ryan, their quarterback, Steven Jackson, and some great new additions to their defense. The second sleeper, and I can't believe I'm saying it, that's right, folks, the Buffalo Bills. Drafting Sammy Watkins, who made an incredible one-handed catch that I'm sure all of you saw on ESPN.com or on SportsCenter. And I think that the Buffalo Bills are going to be a very solid team this year.
All right, well, that's about it for today. Thank you for coming and joining us at the Easy Sports Show presented by Top Sports Media. We thank once again our founder and producer, and analyst Andrew Weiss for joining us today. Next to me is Zach Cooper. It's been a pleasure today for our first show.
Absolutely.
And I'm Evan Abramson, and please join us next time. You can comment on the Facebook page, Twitter, like us on Facebook, but just give us comments, give us stuff to talk about. We want to know what you want to hear, and we will be here next week. Thank you for coming, and that's it.